We talked a bit of sim racing the first half. We kind of got in the weeds of oval and road. I want to talk a little bit of real racing, real driving here in the second half. Jason, I know we've talked. We've had you on over the past year or so, and you've done some Champ Car. You've got a Jetta that you've been competing in. It's race ready. But I know that you were trying to part ways with that car now.
Yeah, so I actually have not raced this car. I bought it with the intention of going racing out here with some of the West Coast series, some of the West Coast, amateur series where I can invite friends that don't have a license and they can come run with me, no problem. And so it was a great. The genesis of the idea, I think, was solid, and I immediately opened my checkbook 2 years ago and started buying some of the initial things you need like this car, and then I'm like, well, now the car doesn't gonna pass tech, so now I need to put this into it. And it's kind of a, yeah, I guess it's a running joke for race cars and for boats, right? It's break out another thousand. It's there's always kind of something else you're throwing it into it. And I think I maybe had some people try to tell me that it was not a good idea. And I was pretty determined. And
it wasn't anybody here that was telling you it was a bad idea.
No, definitely not.
We're all for it. Yeah.
No, there was much reading on. So it's a cool car. I've taken it to a couple track days just to kind of shake it down after got a few, complete rebuild of all the fuel system, fuel cell. The fuel cell, I think, is actually worth more than the car. It's an FIA, spec. It's literally, I think, $5,000 fuel cell or something in a 2003 Jetta that has 1 billion miles on it. So I don't know. So it's very safe. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, Anna bought a Super Duty, Ford truck because I needed to be able to tow this thing. And I bought an enclosed trailer. So yeah, it's really like, it's like this escalation here where I'm like, this is great. We're gonna go racing, but the big just stumbling block I have is I'm not a mechanic. I just I can do a lot of basic stuff. So I can change the tires. I can no, I mean, like there's things, if you show me, give me instructions of what to do, I'm gonna go do it. But I can't go troubleshoot a problem, or even really do a brake job on it. So some of the things that are very basic are just not, and I'm just not really willing to go and learn. You can YouTube anything right now, right? And I've talked to other people, and that's kind of the way they're pushing me. It's just like, just figure it out. Like, you'll have fun doing it, which I think I would, but I just don't know. I want to put the time into it. And there's a lot of series where I can, sounds, a little snobbish, but I can fly in on a Thursday night and go racing on Friday, practice in some much faster cars than the car that's sitting out in my garage right now. So it's, so I'm at this crossroads, and I actually listed it for sale on all the different kind of road racing, Facebook pages over the weekend, and got a lot of people, asking questions about it, but nobody really was like, yeah, it's me. And a lot of people know the car from Lucky Dog series because it was a podium car. And so there's a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, that's Lars. His name is Lars Wolf, and a cool guy who built the car originally. And they're like, oh yeah, it's a fast car. So, but that's, people complimenting it versus, people writing a check are different. So yeah, I'm at a crossroads, and I would, part of me, it's like, all right, let's get the team together here, and I'll bring it back east and leave it back there, and it can be kind of a team car. But obviously there's got to be some sort of financial contribution. Looking at you, Bruce.
Yep. That's
right.
right.
It's like, what? It's your rig is worth more than this car. Your rig is worth more than this car is. So you can.
My rig's not for sale.
Yeah. Right. So, yeah. So I mean, I I'm down to like brainstorm if there's some way that it can be moved on to still serve the original purpose. That would be awesome. But I would love to throw it out there to the ITA you know, group and see what happens.